one. X started, and now I'm just gonna do my thing here. Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. Um, that was uncalled for. My apologies. My wife is still in bed, so she's probably heard that. Um, ready. Let's see here. So I guess, yesterday was a trading day, obviously, but it wasn't really, you know, it was, but there was just something different about yesterday, right? Like the, I don't know, it's just, it
That's what
feels like
that's what I said.
it feels like today is the real trading day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It, I think I'll talk about that because it's not well, when I start I'll start ranting.
Yeah.
I'll go
Hey,
ahead and
hey, you
rant.
know what? Why not? I love a good rant.
Yeah. Sometimes it's needed. That's one thing that I loved about my mentor. He does go on a run, but he does say, relevant stuff, but people don't understand it. So then they kind of don't like him because of his long rants.
Okay.
Yeah, but if you listen closely, whatever he's saying is coming from experience. And
Right.
sometimes if you've not been there, you wouldn't understand it. Like for
Yeah.
example, yesterday wasn't a trading day. You're not meant to be in the market, but people will not understand it
Right.
because as long as
I
the
mean,
market is open, you have to trade.
there were a couple of calls from SPDOS that were pretty nice. I guess it's there. There's multiple perspectives, right? Especially with a different styles, right? But
Mm.
but yeah, it's like I, I I do still personally feel like today's the real trading. Today's the Monday.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah. Today is a trading day. Tuesdays
Yeah.
is always the best day to trade. If you're going to trade, trade between Tuesdays and Thursdays. If you're going to trade as a day trader, trade between Tuesdays and Thursdays. Then leave Mondays. Monday, just look at the market and have a feel. And then Tuesday, roll up your sleeves and then you trade Wednesdays and then Thursdays. Then Fridays, a chill out.
Yep. Nice. Love it. Um, oh, quick little note. My friend my friend Richard sent me a hoodie. Uh, Pretty cool. I I love it. I'm gonna wear it every single day while I'm at the computer. Shout out Richard. Shout out to
Uh,
Richard.
tell your friend to send me one because I love
Yeah,
hoodies.
will do. Yeah, for sure. Uh, yeah, I'll probably maybe post a link after somewhere.
Yeah,
You know what?
I love hoodies.
I know you do. Yeah, you've got your trading hoodie you like to wear, right?
Yeah,
And then you get the cool like you put this thing on and like you just get right in the zone, right?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah. You know what? Take it away, IT. I'm not gonna say anything. Everybody knows everything. And if you're just tuning in, solana.forexlens.com, read the white paper, read our X posts, and watch some live sessions. get to know us and get to know what we're up to. Take it away, IT. I'm gonna shut down my mic.
Okay, thank you very much. Let me share my screen. Double check for me with the music in the background, if it's okay.
Okay, I'll let you know.
Today is a little bit different, more calmer.
Maybe just a little bit lower. Got a lot of reverb. Yeah, that sounds pretty good. Sweet.
Cool. Okay, right. So let's get to it. So yesterday we had the dollar index. I don't know whether it was closed, but apparently there was another chart. Um, After the session, I went through to see what was happening, and I saw that this um, data feed was still moving on the dollar index, which I did find it a little bit interesting to see that that one was moving and the one that I always use was not moving. So I kind of looked at this since yesterday to see what was happening, and I realized price was coming down whilst we were having, I think, our session yesterday, and that was not fun to see, that big drop, because on my one, it was still up here, right? So if I had seen the one I showed you earlier, if I had seen this, probably I would have encouraged us to look for a move to this level if I had seen this whilst we we're having the session. But like I said, I was under the impression that the market was closed and the dollar index was closed. So that was still up there. And then this morning when it opened up, it gapped down, right? So I think this has led to a bit of uncertainty on the dollar index. It's messed up the chart. Now, sometimes, and especially January, okay, the charts can be a little bit messy on the lower time frames. That's why you need to switch and then look at what the higher time frame is actually doing. Okay, to have few candles, because the fewer the candles, the clearer the view, right? If you can look at the few candles, then you can see what's happening based on a certain pattern that you might be seeing. So here, on the H4, it might be a lot of noise. If you go onto the daily, still a bit of noise. But if you move to the monthly, right, it's more clearer. Okay. So from the daily perspective, this down candle still is still active. They've not traded through it yet. And the one that I looked earlier, still they've not traded through it yet. However, based on the logic that I use, which is this imbalance, they've closed through it. Remember, I said that if you make a new high, if you make a new high and it leaves an imbalance, that imbalance needs to stay open for continuation. If we trade through it, then they are likely to continue going lower. Okay, so based on that logic, to me, it seems like dollar index might come for this long. Okay. Now, what would have not changed the upside yet is either we move into a consolidation or we will start moving maybe for this area here. But again, upside still remains because based on the higher time frame weekly, we are still bullish. Price has not changed direction yet. Okay, so don't get too excited with that 1 day drop, right? Always stick with what the high time frame is doing, and it's going higher. So as much as yesterday dropped like that, it doesn't change the fact that price has been bullish for a long time, right? If it's going to reverse, and I said this to one of my students, I think yesterday or a day before, let price always tell you what it's doing rather than you coming up with the idea, right? Because ideas lives in your head. It's not real unless it's actually proven outside. Because when it's in your head, yes, it makes sense, but let it show itself on the chart. Okay, so for price to go lower, let them break down and then begin to go lower, and then you follow that. If you do this, you're always going to be safe instead of trying to catch the low or trying to catch the high. Follow what price is doing, right? So all that to say, if we break this low, then price might move into this area here, but it does not change the continuation to the upside, because all that it will be doing on the weekly time frame is basically trading back into a range, and the price will resume going up again. So on the weekly, unless we break this down candle here, right, we will still be looking for higher prices, right? And I did talk about sequencing. Okay, this is basically sequencing. The daily will shift, but the weekly will still be intact. Okay, so this will just be, if we break the low, as I am thinking they will do, then we will be trading somewhere in here. This candle's high to this candle's low, somewhere in there, and then I'll be expecting a continuation to the upside. Okay, so for me to switch my bias from bullish to bearish, then we need to break the weekly. The weekly is a big time frame enough to cause price to move lower. Right? Even if we break this, it will still be a pullback. It will not be a reversal. It will come back somewhere in here, and then we'll expect it to go back up again. All right. So let's see what today will give us. So basically today I'm expecting it to reject and then come attack this low. Or let me say for the rest of the week, I'm expecting them to reject and come and attack this low. I think it's too clean. This equal low here. I'm expecting them to reject. So this imbalance, this one that was broken yesterday, now becomes resistance. And the fact that we also have this up candle here, the fact that we have this up candle here gives more resistance. Sorry for if I misuse resistance and support. I'm not really good at those terminologies because I use just the smart money concept or ICT concept. I don't do support and resistance. So sometimes I try to use them for our viewers to understand what I mean. But what I'm saying is price should not go beyond that, right? So if it's resistance, that's it. Igor, resistance is the one that rejects price from going higher, right? Okay, Igor is not around, but I think I'm right. Resistance is to reject price from going higher. Support is to support price to go up. Okay, so this will be a resistance. So we have this gap as a resistance, and then the up candle as a resistance as well. So for me to resume going up on the dollar index, we need to break this high, and then I'll resume on the daily time frame. On the weekly, we are still bullish. Okay, so again, understand sequencing, meaning that every time frame has got its own trend. The daily has got its trend, the weekly has got its trend, the monthly has got its trend, the H4 has got its trend. So when you break them down, once one breaks, let's say if the daily breaks, then you switch to the weekly. Then you continue with the weekly trend. If the weekly breaks, then you go to the monthly, then you continue with the monthly trend. Okay. So now the break of this fair value gap here changes the sequence on the daily, meaning that right now the daily is likely to move lower, but it does not change overall the weekly. Okay, so if we go to the weekly, you can see we are still bullish, right? So that would just be a pullback and then be expecting price to go higher. So today, as I said, I'm expecting price to reject and then come and attack these equal lows here. If we go beyond the high, then I'll expect higher prices, right? So let's see this afternoon. I think we might get the rejection where we are now and then move lower. That means on euro, you'll be expecting higher prices, but I don't like it. Okay. If I'll be honest with you, it couldn't break this high to give us a breaker. It failed to take out the high aggressively from the weekly perspective. Okay, this down candle failed to do that. On the daily, they've traded above a down candle, so I'm using the daily right now. The fact that the daily has now switched, that's why I'm using the daily. So from the daily time frame perspective, we might trade up here, this high. But again, don't get it twisted. I'm not expecting a big move to the upside. The daily is still currently changing. It's changed direction to go up. So the down candle here is going to support price and then take it above this. So for euro to switch going lower, then we need to trade through this down candle, right? So what you're currently seeing is a pullback, and then I'll expect it to reject and go up. As it stands, they did not take out yesterday's high. So that's very clean equal highs up there. And with the fact that they are retracing into this gap here, you can start looking for the pattern that I've shared on the lower time frame in here. And then once you see it, you can look for a trade and then take it up. Again, I think this looks too clean. They'll come for it. Okay, so it's basically dollar index inverted. So look for the pattern that I've shared down here and then expect them to reject and then go for these clean equal highs, right? British pound, I think they might trade back to exactly where I've highlighted this. That's where I think they're gonna trade to because that did act as support and then they broke it, so it will be acting as resistance now. So on British pound, you can look for a trade to trade here, right? And again, they've traded above aggressively this down candle. And if you look closely, they've gone above their weekly high on a daily basis. So that's also a good thing. So this would be a pullback into this down candle, and then I'll expect it to reject. Now, sometimes when they do this, it might not go up immediately. It might not go up, let's say today, but it might do it tomorrow. Um, Again, based on a bit of experience, the down candle, because this will catch everybody by surprise, which it did. And then when it gets up there, guess what? The thing that I explained yesterday, everybody and their grandmother will now see British pound going up after the big move. And then they'll go against them because they'll be buying at the top. Okay. And then they'll go against them. Then everybody will crash out because now fear has entered. Everybody now thinks it's going down. But because you have this down candle here, that can support price and then we expect it to reject. And this is the reversal pattern that if you can learn it, you'll see that it works all the time because they're going to go down and then they're going to go up and they're going to go down and they're going to go up. So it's a bit of psychology going on in there. When it goes down, guess what? We'll be selling. And then it goes up because those that sold will get stopped out. And when it's going up, because of the initial sell, they'll be afraid to buy it. But when they see the aggressive candle moving with speed, then they'll be interested in buying it and then they'll go against them again. And then when it starts going down, they will be looking to get out of the buy. Now, at this point, if you don't have mental strength, you'll be exhausted because you'll be like, I sold it and then it went up. I bought it and then it went down, right? So here, if you don't have mental strength and you don't understand what's happening, you're not going to have strength to even either sell or buy because now you're confused, right? You don't know whether to buy or sell because most people will be on the lower time frame like this. So there'll be a bit of confusion. Should I buy? Should I sell? Because I thought it was going down. Now it's going up. Now it's going down. Okay, so every reversal pattern has that idea where they go down, up, down, and then finally up. And that's the pattern that I gave you. The move down, the rejection, and then the pullback, and the continuation. Okay. So I'm expecting British pound to also go up from where we are. I might do it today or tomorrow, but based on experience, like I said, sometimes the next day will just be a down candle pulling back to the down candle here, and then it will go up. But if it goes up today, that's fine. It's the same thing. Okay, whichever happens first, we are good to go. So you can look for the pattern on the lower time frame. You can use M15, you can use H1, you can use H4, whichever rocks your boat. You can even use the 1 minute because it works on all time frames. And if I pull the 1 minute, you see it here. Right? Then move down, rejection, and then a pullback, and then off it went. But the location, that's the part that's hard. Because if you don't get the location right, it might be happening here, and then you get it wrong. Right? So the right location gives you this kind of trade. Okay, so it depends on the time frame that you want to use, and you can use it on the 5 minutes. You can say I'm going to use this one because that was a move down and then a rejection. Then you look for a pullback and then you buy it. Okay, but we'll talk about entries in future. So yeah, we're expecting them to trade above yesterday's high, which comes in at 1.2345. That's a cool number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Right. Let's go back to euro. So euro 1.0437. That would be where I'll be expecting. And our mental stop loss is going to be at 1.02660. Okay, the down candle on the daily. Okay. Aussie, same thing. I think they've traded above a down candle as well. 2 down candles, which looks pretty good. So I'll be expecting them to trade somewhere above 0.63020. Again, you can use the same pattern to look for entry over here. Now, I like this type of candle, this one here. This. And I'll talk much about them in the portal once our portal is open. I can't wait for that to open because I can't shut up. If not, I'm gonna reveal all secrets here, so I
Yeah, we
can't
don't
wait.
want that.
I love this type of pattern, right? It's very, very powerful. So looking for a buy in here, and then you'll be expecting them to continue going up right here. So again, drop down, find the pattern, look for your entry, and then price should go back up to that 0.6302. and your mentor stop loss, where this idea will be wrong, is candles low. And I like this. Price price action is so sweet. When you see it happening, it's something else. It's like, I'm gonna say something nasty. It's like making love to your, I don't know, your spouse, right? That's how when I see these kind of patterns, that's how it looks like within myself. It's like, wow, that's so cool. Yeah. So yeah, I'm expecting them to go at least minimum to come back up to this high, 0.62892 at least. And if they do get here, I think they'll go for that because that looks too clean. That's equal high. This high and that high, that's equal. And this and that is also equal. When I say equal, they are very close to each other. This is not equal high. This is high resistance. Price will struggle to go down here. But when it's like this, it's easier for them to go for that high. Okay, and if you look at New Zealand, I think that's also the same. Now, if you can see this high and this high, that's not equal. That is why price did struggle to go above that. Sometimes it's crazy how just a small distance, right? Price cannot reach it. Okay, there's a reason. And that reason is this high and that high. Something happened there. It took liquidity up there and the price rejected. So in that area, there's always going to be some form of resistance, right? So anytime you have a high, which is higher than the other, just be careful if you're aiming for that because sometimes price will go very close to it and then will reject. Why? Because there's some form of resistance up there. Okay. So yeah, your first target for New Zealand will be here. And I think now this will be equal like this. It's lower. So this will become equal high. Okay. So aim for that high, which comes in at 0.56929. Okay. And again, you can drop down and then find the pattern in the lower time frame, whichever time frame you like, you choose. I think this time the 5 minutes was the best one from the 5 minutes and down. As for the 1 hour to give you the pattern, you have to wait for price to trade back above this, and then you can start looking for your buy. Okay. We do have, it's not that interesting, CPI news on CAD, but since it's not on the dollar index, I'm not really bothered. I like news on the dollar index. So yeah, New Zealand, you're looking for a rejection to go up, and your mentor stop loss is going to be here. That's where the down candle on the daily is. And then you can see and train your eyes to see, right? Because it's everywhere. And the location. Okay. Let's now look at New Zealand CAD because I think I said I like to see this go higher. Yes, this morning it actually did. I was watching it and it rejected. So let's see if they can close above it today. If they do, then what I was saying yesterday, if you were not here, you can go back and watch it. What I was saying yesterday regarding the 3 months, okay? If we close above this high, then we'll be expecting price to go up. So the high comes in at the high comes in at 0.81417. If we can close above that, and I'll be expecting price to go up from here. And like I said, if we get what I'm expecting, we'll be looking all the way up 0.8440 and then somewhere up there. Okay, so let's see if price can close above this side. That'll be very, very good. And that will leave a nice gap here. All right. Now, gold is doing something funny. So I brought in the spot because um, what I have on my trading platform is the spot, and what I was looking every day um, is the futures market. Okay, so with the futures, it's yet to take out this high. It comes in at 2760.7, and the spot, that same level, has been taken. Okay, so yesterday when I was looking at price, I was surprised to see this move, right? I was surprised to see that move because if you see it on the spot, it's not the same. We didn't have any drop. So I was a little bit confused as to why the spot was, I'm sorry, the futures was going that way, breaking this Friday's low, okay, whilst the spot was not, right? So what I concluded was that instead of me using the futures, I think most of you trade the spot. So I'll be using the spot instead of the futures. Okay, because it's much easier for the traders that trade the spot to look at the spot. And then if you do trade the futures, then I can do the futures because there sometimes will not do the same thing. Most of the time they'll be doing the same thing, but there are instances where the spot will be doing something different and the futures will be doing something different. Okay. So going forward, I'll look at both of them. So you can have both spectrums, right? So on the futures, all it did was trade back into this fair value gap, which is okay because it doesn't change the narrative of price going for this high. I think it's even much better for them to do that because that creates the low of the week. So this might be the low of the week because that's Monday, that's Tuesday, trading down into this gap, right? So I'm expecting it to reject to continue going up, which they have. So watch this down candle on the futures if you trade the futures. If they can close above it within the next hour and 27 minutes, then aim for this high. If you do trade the futures, if you do trade the spot, then watch this down candle. If they can close above it, then you can look for a buy. Because yesterday, that's what happened. They came back to this down candle and then shot up. All right. So if you do trade the spot, then wait for them to close above that, then use that candle as your support. Yeah. The low, basically your stop loss. That's what I'm talking about. And then look for continuation to the upside. I think this high and then this high. That's where they might reach for. Okay. So initially aim for 2.75, sorry, 2750.28. That's the first level. And then 2762.38. That'll be the second level. Okay. That's funny. Anyway, so yeah, we've got the spot closing the next 26 minutes. The H4 will close. So if the next 24 minutes, 26 minutes can close above that high, then you can look for basically longs to go there. whilst you can look for longs on the spot. I'm sorry, the futures once we close above this. But again, the futures is quite different. We've got about an hour and 25 minutes to close. When you close above that, that's when you can also aim for this high and a level that uh, here, a level that I'm expecting the spot to reach for 27772. Sometimes it can be very confusing with this the futures and the spot. So be careful which one you trade, okay? Because they are not the same. So if you are, a big player guy and you trade gold, these are your levels. If you are a small player guy and you trade gold, these are your levels. Okay. Trade what you see on the chart that you are in front of. Okay. Okay. Crude oil. Now, crude oil has traded to the weekly gap. I think yesterday I spoke about this rejection. I didn't like it, right? But I was looking at this down candle to hold, and they've traded through it. Does it change the narrative? No, it doesn't. I'm expecting them to reject this imbalance in here. So for today, they've actually created so far the pattern that I'll be expecting them to use to buy, okay, on the H4. So the next candle, the one that you're currently seeing, and I did my, magic trick, and I found that the level that we're supposed to be reversing from is exactly where we are. Okay, we're supposed to be reversing exactly where we are. So on the H1, you can see they've actually started giving some signs of it, right? So this H1 closing above this, that's very good start. So on the H4, this down candle can end up rejecting and then going up. And then the next one, breaking it. And then we can get a reversal. Okay. So again, depending on the kind of trader you are, if you are, a day trader, then drop down. If you are a short-term trader, then maybe stay on the 1 hour. And if you're a swing trader, be on the H4. So it depends on which time frame that you trade, because every time frame is different. As a day trader, I'll just look for price to come back inside this range, and then that would be okay for me. If you're a short term, you need price to break this. And if you're a swing, then once we break this, you'll be expecting a continuation to the upside objective that I gave for, I think, since we started. Right, so watch the current H4 candle. You want this to turn blue, depending on the type of trade that you are. Okay, once it turns blue, then you'll be looking for price to go up. But most importantly, breaking this up candle, that would be the best. And when the week started, we've only been going down, which is perfect, right? When the week starts and we only go down, is the best. We don't want the week to start and go up straight away. That's not good, because that might be a reversal coming. So when the week starts and then we go down, that's the best, because then we can reject and then go higher, because it's still Tuesday, right? And we've traded into some nice area with a support down candle here. So right now, this low to this high, that's basically what I'm watching for the continuation to the upside. Okay. Now, again, don't just jump in. Don't buy where we are straight away. Depending on the kind of trader you are, that's when you can get your entry. Okay, I need to emphasize on it. If you are long term, then yes, we've traded into a nice area where you can get another position. If you're short term, you need to wait, because short term, we've gone through this down candle. Okay, so that might, I'm not saying it's going to change it, because on the weekly, nothing has really changed. This might be just a potential down candle to reaccumulate, and then we resume going up. Remember, I said they'll print 1, 2, 3, 4, or 3 candles and then one down candle. So this might be that, but it might play around. It will go up, down for the rest of the week. Something like this. For the rest of the week, and then we end the week. Then next week, we shoot up and then we trade above that down candle. And this will end up being the reaccumulation, right? So patient, patient, patient. If you like to scalp, drop down to the 1 minute, and then you can find the same pattern that I've given you, and you can use it to find an entry. Okay. Let's go over to cryptos, and let's start with AI. So AI, yesterday I gave the level that I was expecting them to trade to for a potential reversal. I wanted it to be a down candle, but it just ended up as an up candle, which is not bad. Why? Because it rejected the area. So I want to see today go all the way up and go and trade above this high. It might not end up being today, but if it does happen today, that'll be really, really good. Okay, if we have today's candle to go all the way up and close above this side, that'd be very, 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 very good for the continuation to the upside. If we don't, I wouldn't like it. Okay, and the reason why I wouldn't like it is because we've had 1, 2, 3, 4, and yesterday I was saying they have the down candles can be between 1 and 5. So 4 down candles is enough. If we don't get the move to the upside that I'm talking about, then this can end up being a redistribution, meaning a sell more. That's why, based on the location that we are, it's absolutely crucial for them to print an up candle today. Okay, we don't want this candle to end up there as it is. And I don't want to see them come and close below yesterday's low. That would change completely everything, right? So we want today's candle to be an up candle. And on the H4, it can be because they've gone above this. They've gone above this up candle there, right? They didn't close, but they've traded above it, which is a good sign. Not the best, but a good sign. It also left a small little gap right here. Again, not the best, because the kind of reversal that I like is the candles that just shoot up. Not like this, okay? But the level, the location that we are trading at, that is why I'm using it. Okay, so I'll be expecting today to shoot up, and most importantly, try and break this. Even if it doesn't, at least today to close above yesterday, that's much better. Okay, so today closing above yesterday would be very, very, very good for AI. All right, so there you go. We don't want to see price close below this yesterday's low. It is not good. Why? Because if they do, that'll be redistribution, which is basically selling more. So pay attention. If you're looking at AI, this up candle, we do not want to see them close below. Solana, I think they might be reaccumulating in here and then continue going up. Again, I like the fact that we had Monday, Tuesday dropping. Okay, why? Because when the week starts, let me see if I can bring in my indicators. Right, so this is the weekly opening price. We opened and then we started trading down into this gap. So I would want to see price reject from here and then go up. Ideally, sometimes if they took out or if they take out the Monday's low, that would have been better. Um, so look for the pattern in here, right? And then expect price to reject and go up one more time. On the daily, this gap is crucial that it stays open. Let me remove some of these drawing. This gap here is absolutely crucial that it stays open. What do I mean stays open? We don't want to see the daily time frame close below. Don't want to see the daily time frame close below 222. Okay, so 222, that's a level that you want to watch on the daily time frame. The daily should not be closing below it, because if you do close below it, then price might change. Okay, in terms of continuation, we might probably pull back somewhere in here because that will give us a pull back into the range, and then we resume going up again. All right, so we don't want them to come down here. They've rejected enough strong, so these two down candles should now act as a reaccumulation. And I've also taught you how they do it. On the weekly, they're going to do it like this. So when the candle is closing and the next one is opening, that is where the reaccumulation happens. So the two down candles right now, as it stands to me, is reaccumulation, and we need to go back up again. So again, drop down to the lower time frame, find a pattern, and then look for your whole buy. So depending on the kind of trader you are, you can use whichever time frame that you like. Where we are now, I've not seen it yet because it needs to be obvious. I think I've spoke about the elephant in the room, right? It needs to be obvious. So I've not seen anything obvious yet. The one that I've seen on the H4 doesn't look great, in my opinion. Right? This is not elephant in the room. This is just normal candles. Okay? On the H1, I've not seen it yet because these are just normal candles. So maybe one big drop to take out yesterday's low, and then immediately after the drop, the next candle reject. That's what I would like to see. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen, but I would like to see something like that, because what I'm seeing here, I've not seen the elephant coming in to buy yet on Solana. I've not seen it. Okay, so I would like to see one big drop and then a quick rejection. That would be the best, because then I know the elephant has stepped in. Right now, I think these are just um, these are ants playing in the field. Okay, let's continue. Bitcoin. Bitcoin from the daily perspective, we are still holding on this down candle, so I'm still expecting higher prices. Yesterday did fail to close above this down candle, which sometimes can be a bit of a problem. So use this down candle as your mental stop loss. Okay, and as long as we are above it, you're expecting higher prices. The rejection doesn't look great, but yesterday was a bit of a weird thing. Now, I think I showed you something on the I showed you something on, I forgot the pair, and I was saying that I love how they reject and then they go back up. The pattern looks like this. And then it goes up, which this high takes out that high. Okay, that pattern. I said it's very powerful. Yes, so that can be this, where it rejects the high, and then the next candle goes all the way up, and then it close above it. If that's what's happening here, that's very, very powerful. That once we close above this, we will see an energetic moves to the upside. Okay, the reason for it, I'll explain it in future. But if that's what's currently happening, then that would be great. So watch it on the daily. On the lower time frame, it's just a bit of a mess. So watch it from the daily time frame perspective. So if you are a scalper or a day trader, then you can drop down. I think you can see I've highlighted my level, the H1 right here. I was not an elephant. Maybe this might be a giraffe, right? The up candle, the move down, and then the rejection. Not the best, but still works. And I'm expecting them to go at least up here for now. And these highs are too clean. So again, I think they might continue going up. So watch it from the daily. Don't watch it from the lower time frame. Because if you watch it from the lower time frame, you might get heart attack. Because anytime it drops, you might be scared. But this is your support. This is what should support price and then continue going higher. So watch it from the daily time frame perspective. Don't be in the lower time frame and be scared about every drop, because every drop on the lower time frame might be a buy for someone. Okay. Ethereum, same thing. We are still stuck inside that H4 last down candle, the last time they bought here, and we are still stuck in there. I still like the equal high. That's still the upside objective. It hasn't changed. So for now, you can look for 3446 as it stands as a upside objective on Ethereum. I don't know why Ethereum doesn't want to go up, but those of you that knows more about the fundamentals, probably you might know. I have no idea. I'm now beginning to do a bit of work to understand what all these technologies doing. Okay, so I do know a bit of about Ripple. That's why I love that. Okay, but I don't know the technology behind Ethereum, what it's doing. So if you do know and you know probably why it's not going up, right? As it stands, I think this equal high will be the best upside objective for now. If we can go above last week's high, then we can start aiming higher. But as it stands, this will be ideally where you want to target for now, which comes in at 3445. And your mental stop loss will be this 3127. Okay. So as long as we're above that level, we want price to reach for 3445.94. And you can look for your entry in here. Um, hype, hype is still playing around, but my entry or where I would love to buy still remains. They've not changed. They've not come down yet there yet, and it hasn't changed for me. So nothing in here is of interest to me. Okay. And as a trader, you need to be disciplined. Okay. Know what you're looking for and stick with it. And as it stands, since this is the level I want to buy, I'm not interested in whatever is happening here. Right. The only time I'll buy is if you can close above the weekly high. So unless we close above this weekly high, price can still come down here before going higher. So just be patient. If you are a day trader, be patient. If you're scalping, not a big deal. You can drop down to the lower time frame, look for the pattern that I've shared, and then you can look for a small little trade, whether up or down, because you're just scalping. But if you're looking for short term to long term, then stay away because we've not given anything concrete yet. All right. So that's that for hype. I don't think much has changed over the last 4 or 5 days. Okay. And this looks good. Why? Because it builds up a lot of traders in here because most will not know what to do. Is it going up or is it going down? So that brings in uncertainty. And that would be good for anyone that understands because then buyers will come in and then they'll go against them. Sellers will come in and then they'll go against them. And it will neutralize the market, right? No one will know what to do. So the next move should surprise everyone. So if it shoots down, then all the buyers will be out. And when all the buyers are out, guess who will be doing the buying? Yeah, those that love buying discount, the big players. So they will come in and then sweep this low. That's what I'll be looking for. And if I run this market, that's exactly how I'll do it. Okay, run it down, and then anyone that will sell as it's going down, then I'll be buying it. And then I'll reject this low and go higher. Okay, so as it stands, that's what I'm looking for. And this is a perfect area. So it comes in at 18.911. Okay, so stay away for now and just be patient. And then finally, Ripple. Ripple has not changed since yesterday. Again, this one also failed to close above this. At some point, this candle was green, this one, and I was excited, right? But then they rejected everything and came right back down. I'm still expecting it to go up. So it can end up being the candle that I just drew for you, the one that rejects the high and then we go up. Let's see if I can find an example of that type of candle. It looks like this. It looks like this. Okay. It goes up, it rejects the high, and then the next one just shoots above it. That area right there, or that specific candle, is very, very important. When they do this, that specific candle, okay, you can go and back test it on your chart, and then you see some magic tricks on that type of candle. Okay, so it can be the same thing that they're doing here. So I would want to see today go all the way up. If we end up like this, I don't like it because it's just too much of a consolidation on the daily. So I want to see energy come in and then shoot up to trade above that high. Now, it's trading at the 168 extension of the move down. Okay, it's trading at the 168 extension of the move down. So sometimes that can happen because when they trade to that 168, remember the 168 shows a bit of resistance all the time. The 168 extensions most of the time will show a bit of resistance, right? So I'm not surprised to see what's happening. However, we want to see them trade through it. So this week we want the candle to close above last week's high, and that all that is happening in the lower time frame will be a reaccumulation. So it's either we shoot up today or tomorrow, but I would want to see it today because that will bring in a lot of momentum to the upside. Okay, so let's see, maybe this New York session you might have some interesting buyers come into the market. And then finally, I will say the best for the last.
Nice. Just
That's
a quick
good.
update from my end. My breaker, the one of the breakers in my house just like shot off. So I'm on my backup internet connection. Um, but yeah, so just so you're aware, I just had to go downstairs and reset it. But
Okay, okay. Um, so yeah, let's have a look at a tool. let's look at it from a daily perspective. I think we had the type of candle that I talked about yesterday on the daily, right? The closing above the down candle. So the same thing, right? On the weekly. Let's go to the weekly. If we close below, then we look for price to go lower. If we close above, we look for price to go higher. So daily closing above this high is a sign that we will basically switch on the daily for the time. It does not change the continuation to the downside. It's just that for the time being, the daily will start going up. So we can trade back up into this range, this high to this low. You can trade back into that range. And ideally, I think there is an up candle here, so we can use that first. Because up candles, when price is going down, will reject price from continuing going up. It will reject it. We have this small one in there. Okay, so we want to use that. Because if we are going down, the up candles basically will act as resistance. Right, so we want to use this one first. So this high to this low, as we've closed above this, we'll be using that as a range, and price will come back inside that range for now.
And
Now,
sorry to interrupt you. I just got to give a big kudos to all the people who didn't panic sell and held and are holders, right? Because it's like, this isn't when you jump ship on, you know?
that's what I said. When you need to understand the dynamics, right? As it was dropping, it was just coming into discount. So it depends on the level that you bought at, right? If you bought at the high, then yes, you're gonna panic. And again, you don't buy at the top. We don't buy tops. We buy when it's going down. Okay, so as it was dropping like this, the location, that's the part that once you can understand that, the location of where the drop needs to reject, or even as close to the location. Okay, so always when price is dropping, you're looking to buy, and then you find a location where the drop should basically reverse from. And I've given a simple thing, which is use the range. If there is a range, use the range and buy 618 to 79. So if this is the range on the weekly, if this is the range on the weekly, right? Where are we at? 70.5. So between, and I think I can go back. Let me quickly add a 618 there. And then 79. Between this and that's where if you see price dropping inside a range, what is a range? There's a high, there's a low, there's a low, there's a high. Price will break that. Okay. When you see price dropping, you can be a buyer from here, 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 here. Do not be a buyer from here. Okay. If you buy here, essentially, most of the time, you be giving it to those that will be selling. Right? You be giving it to those that are selling. So when price is approaching a high, yes, you can buy it, but once you go above a high, you need to be careful buying, because any buy, unless this whole move to the downside is accumulation, which is the down candle. This whole move to the downside is a down candle on a high time frame. Then they will print another down candle here and then continue going up, and this will be a reaccumulation. So it will not come back down. But if they are going to come back down and this is not accumulation, then once you go above this high, do not look for buy. You can buy, but be careful Because as soon as it rejects, it's going to come back deeper to that OTE level. And when you see that, that's the time to buy. When it's reaching for the 618 level, that's the time to buy. So here, when it came to 618 to 79, in that area, as a trader, as an investor, that's where you want to be looking to buy. Okay, so when it's dropping, you don't buy in here, you don't buy in here, you don't buy in there. Okay, I take this as a trading condition, or I term it as trading condition. You need to understand that there are conditions. This is a bullish condition. When we are in a bullish condition, you want to buy when it's approaching the high, or you buy when it's in discount. You don't buy when it's above the high. Okay, so trading condition, when it's bullish, you buy when it's approaching the high, or you buy in discount. Okay, so when it was approaching this high, that was the best time to buy, like we did here. And it went up. But once you're above the high, especially once we rejected the last up candle, then you stop. Because that time above the high, once we reject the down candle, price is likely to come into a pullback and then resume going up again. So you sit on your hands. So if you are a holder, then you hold it. But if you day trade it, if you scalp it, then as it's dropping, this will be selling for you. Then in discount, you wait for something to happen and then you buy it back up again. Okay. So as it stands, yes, all those that got out will now they'll be fearful to buy it. Why? Because this drop doesn't look good in their eyes, but it looks good in someone else's eye, like you and me. Okay, because if you understand what's happening, and on the H4, this should have been a buy right here, right there, that up candle. Once you drop down, that's where you buy. So the range that I just gave on the daily, from here to here, on the H4, you're buying here to trade up to there. So you buy it at 0.02098, and you be, for now, if you're day trading, out 0.0307, right? For your day trade, or even for this week. Because again, the market open, there is no wick, and it's going up. Okay, so we could be forming a high of the week, and then price can reject again based on what I'm seeing on the weekly. Price can reject again. So buy here, get out, sit on your hands and wait. If we can trade through the up candle, then that can be the sign. Okay, I'm not saying it's going up, but that can be the sign of bullishness, because when there's the up and then they move down, that's basically the elephant. Okay, the elephant comes in with the up and then the down. So if they can trade through the up, then we'll be expecting it to continue going high. But again, I personally don't like speculating. Okay, what I mean that I don't want to make that idea in my head that it's gonna break it. I want to see it break. Okay, so that's why you buy here, you get out, wait, let them break it, then you look for the buy to continue going up. That'd be the best option. You can have the idea in your head that it's gonna break it, and if it gets there and it doesn't break, you will get disappointed. Right? So that's why you don't make up ideas in your head that if it does this, if it's doing this, it's likely to go here. And then you stick with that. Once we break this, then you can look for the continuation. So that's pretty much that. Unless there's any question from the members.
Hey there, IT. Yeah, yeah. So we're not going to do any questions until the portal, right?
Okay.
Yeah, nice. It just keeps the flow going, and of course, SP DOS is starting at 9:30. I got to go reset that breaker still, right?
Okay, okay. I thought you did.
No, 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 no. Yeah, no. I wanted to make sure I stayed on in case you came to a close, and you know what I mean.
Okay, okay,
Um,
that's fine. I think pretty much today the market is a bit slow. It's not moving as fast as supposed to. So yeah, we can close for today. Um, hopefully this New York session, we might get some action. If not, then overnight.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you never know. Anything can pop off at any time, so that's the beauty of the markets,
We've got someone that can just tweet and then
right? Or yeah, a handful of people. Uh so yeah, IT, thank you very much. Always humbled by your analysis, by your knowledge. I did want to give you a bit of a tip. I saw in the transcription you were asking me a question about support
support and
resistance.
resistance. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. So like the best way to see it is like you got a floor and a ceiling,
Mhm.
right? The floor is the support, the ceiling is the resistance.
Thanks.
Right?
Okay.
Or it's like another way of looking at it is like a tightrope walker is the price in like a tent in the circus tent. And there's a safety net, and that's the support, right? It's going to
Mhm.
support that type rope walker if they fall. And then there's the canvas from the tent, and that's their resistance, right? And if they jump too high off the tightrope or whatever, then they'll hit they'll hit that canvas, right? So you could like
Okay.
just play with the analogy, right? That way it'll always stick in your head. It's more playful, right?
I always get it confused, and that's why I was asking because sometimes I
Yeah,
use the
I get that.
emotion.
It's funny to
Anyway,
me
thank
because you've been doing institutional trading for like how long, and you just like you just look at the
yeah, because I
candlestick,
don't I don't
right?
like the traditional. I don't like those things.
I know you
Support
don't. Yeah,
is not support is actually the levels that I gave, right? The up candle
right.
and the those are the real support
Exactly.
and resistance. And not those lines that they draw. That's not support and resistance.
I love it. I love it. And then you know
So
what else I love is the fundamentals aspect on like some of the crypto stuff, or even just in general. Like you're a chartist, right? That's the that's I mean that's probably one of the best ways to be. Like sometimes fundamentals are good, especially on longer time frames and everything. But if you're
Mhm.
at the same time, it's just what is it like micro fundamentals? Like you're never that's never going to measure anything, right? You know?
Yeah, yeah. Because anything that they do will reflect on the chart. That's why I love the charts. Okay.
Yeah,
Fundamentals will reflect on the charts. So everything is in there. But sometimes if you can know a little bit, right? Let's say I don't know, someone is a major company is transitioning from fiat currency to Bitcoin, right? Then that can affect the price of Bitcoin.
yeah,
Yeah. So things like that, yeah, sometimes it's good to know, but not really necessary.
yeah. And for the most part, it's already probably priced in. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
who knows who's got that news beforehand, right?
Big players always do.
Yeah. Well, hey, thanks very much. Um, why don't we stop it here and then yeah, if you want to add anything, feel free. But
No,
thanks
I
for
think
tuning
pretty
in.
much I really want to reserve most of the stuff for the
Yeah,
portal because that's where I can talk freely.
yeah,
Again, this is the roadside. We don't give secrets on the roadside.
I love that. And hey, if you're watching this on X or wherever, hit that like repost it, share it with your trader friends, if you're finding value, especially, leave a comment. But yeah, we'll see you at 9:30 with SP DOS. And um, then again for Sydney, Tokyo, just a few hours from then. And we start that cycle all over again every day, Monday through Friday. Crypto trading coming soon on the weekends. Stay tuned. Lots of awesome updates. We're in talks with lots of cool people, people you've heard of, and we're super excited to get the ball rolling. And yeah, it's pretty awesome.
All right. Take care, everybody. See you tomorrow.
Take care.